Hello! Okay, really quick before the video starts, I just wanted to let you guys know that I am now streaming on Twitch. I haven't decided on a schedule yet, but I'm thinking at least a few nights a week. Make sure you go follow me on over there, and we'll play some Sims. And probably some other stuff too, eventually. Alright, cool. Moving on to the video. Please ignore this. I don't know. I know the title of this video is like the airport story, or this airport like cares more about money than disabled people, whatever. And I am gonna talk about that. Like that's gonna be the meat of this video. But before I get into that, I am gonna talk about me for a second. I mean, I'm gonna be talking about me this entire video, but like me for a second. So if you're just here for the airport tea, you can skip to this time. I don't care. This is where the over-explaining and apologizing begins. So yeah, I haven't posted in almost 3 weeks, or 3 weeks, over 3 weeks. I don't know. For the past like few weeks to a month at least, I've been losing my mind. Ooh. Yeah, I've honestly been stressed for most of 2019 so far. Like January, I was kind of killing it. January, I was feeling really good. Then February hit and the beginning of February was fine. But then like mid-February said hello and my mental health said goodbye. You know what I mean? So, I'm sure I've talked about it, like, you could probably assume, but I've dealt with depression and anxiety for my entire life. I mean, at least, definitely it got worse in the past, like, few years. Not to an extent, though, where I want you guys to worry, but, like, still sucks. You know what I mean? So basically, like, mid-February, end of February, I started feeling, like, really lost when it came to my content and my channel. I felt like I was running out of ideas. I felt like I was running out of motivation. I just felt like I didn't care anymore. Like I cared, but I couldn't like, I couldn't do anything about it. This is what I do. This is what I love to do. This is what I've wanted to do my entire life. I say this all the time. You guys are sick and tired of hearing it. I'm fully aware of that. But I like need to get this out and vent in videos, or else it will bother me. Like I know that you guys, every time I do stuff like this and like apologize for not posting, you guys are like, girl, you don't have to like apologize for, you know, taking time for yourself and blah, blah, blah. I really appreciate that more than you will ever know. And it means a lot to me. But I still like, for my own sanity, I feel like I can't just not say anything and then just pop back like nothing happened, you know what I mean? I also am aware of the fact that I'm acting as if I haven't posted for 4 months or something, but it bothers me because I want to do this all the time, and it's just sometimes I literally can't get my brain to do it. So yeah, I went to LA in the beginning of February. I came back, I was home for a full week, and then my friend Janae came to stay with me for a week, which was great. But then immediately after she left, I went to Orlando for a week. And before Janae even came to stay with me, I was already kind of like just worried about life in general, honestly, like more than just my videos. There's a lot of like adulting life shit that I'm still stressed about right now. I'm a very ambitious person, which is not a bad thing, but sometimes it is, especially when your brain works the way mine does and it just doesn't stop thinking of things that like I want to get done, and then thinking of like, why am I laughing? Like, what is funny? Hello? And then thinking of like what I need to do in order to get those things done and what resources I'm missing to get those things done. It builds, bitch. It builds. And then I just shut down and I don't want to do anything. Like, anything. So like my room is a mess right now. There's dishes over there. Honestly, it's not that bad. I just like, I'm a clean freak, but I'm not. Like I'm a clean freak in my mind, but I don't really do much about it. Welcome to me. So yeah, like I keep starting to say, immediately after Janae left, I went to Orlando. 2 straight weeks of like non-stop socializing, which for me is extremely draining. I love being around people. It helps me take my mind off of my own thoughts, but like there's a balance. Like I need just as much time alone as I do with other people. So, already it was a lot. Even if what happened in Orlando didn't happen, which I'm gonna get to, it still would have been a lot, and I still would have been really tired and drained after returning to Santa Cruz. But the universe said,
hold on, bitch. we ain't done.
You need one more wrench to be thrown in. That's a saying, right? Like throwing a wrench in it. Whatever. Anyway, the universe took a shit on me again. And this is when the airport story begins. So, it still angers me to think about this, even though like I've gotten it taken care of since then. My friend Elena, who I went to Orlando with, she's the one that I go to all the YouTube events with, like Playlist and VidCon. We were going to Playlist in Orlando. Hi. She was 21 when we met, but like I just turned 21. So the whole time leading up to this Orlando trip, we were like, oh my god, like we're both finally over 21. Like we can go out in Orlando and like have a time, you know?
Well,
Guess what happened to me? The second that I landed in Orlando and tried checking into my hotel, I found out that I lost my driver's license on my way there. Before Elena and I even like reunited, I was pissed. Like, so I couldn't even enjoy the fact that I was in Florida, like, for this trip. Like, I was immediately upset. And, like, I almost started crying, bitch. Like, I don't cry. I don't cry. I don't, though. Like, I'm not proud of that. Like, it's an actual issue. But anyway, the dude at the front desk was, like, asking me for my ID. And I was like, okay, I've had my driver's license since I was 16 years old and have never lost it. Why would I lose it today? So I'm, like, going through my little bag, and it wasn't there. And mind you, like, when I got there, it was like after midnight. So like at that point, there wasn't anything that I could really do about it in that moment. So I just had to like force myself to go to bed. Either the second or third day, maybe even the first day that I was in Orlando, I called airline, or you know what? I'm gonna play it safe, y'all. And like, I'm not gonna say the name of this airline. Because I'm afraid. And I want to get this story out. I guess we'll call it Poopited Airlines. Poopited, alright? So I call Poopited Airlines. I explain the situation. I'm in Orlando. I'm not from San Francisco, but I flew from San Francisco to Orlando. I lost my driver's license, and I know that like I need identification to get through security, so will I still be able to get through some other way? It took me like quite a few tries to get through to somebody to even like answer this question properly. One of the first numbers I called was like a lost and found for Poopited, and this lady well, first of all, I filed like a missing item report in the lost and found, and like I meant to call just like the regular Poopited Airlines customer service line, but like I accidentally called like the baggage claim place for some reason, and I explained to the lady what happened, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, oh, well, I'll file the missing. I'm like, I already did that. My question is, do I need it to get through security? All she said was, yeah, you do. Nothing else helpful, just, yeah, you do need it to get through security. There has to be another way that I can get through, because there's no way that I'm the only person that this has happened to. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay. And then I called like the actual Poopited customer service, whatever. I got through to this other woman, and she told me I will be able to eventually get through security, but they'll probably ask for any other documentation that I have on me, and they'll also do like a screening process to verify your identity, which is where they basically just like ask you a bunch of security questions to prove that you're who you say you are, which is perfectly fine with me, because hi, like I'm me. After that, I was like a little bit more relaxed, because I was like, at least now I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to get home, right? Well, I mean, I'm here, so like, so you know that I was able to get home. But the end of the Florida trip comes. We had a time, definitely had its fun moments, but throughout the trip, we were both stressed, because just like little bad things just kept going wrong for us. Weird little coincidence, like it was weird, dude. I don't know. Which brings me to another thing. I'm only gonna touch on this for like 2 seconds. Every time that I go to Orlando, Florida, something bad happens to me. Something like completely out of the ordinary. Not just like a little thing, like a big bad thing, a big bad wolf of a thing happens to me every time I'm in Florida. Just a side note. Anyway, the trip finally comes to an end. I'm ready to go home. 2 straight weeks of busy, non-stop, go, go, go. I'm done. I'm deceased. I go to the airport. I got there really early because we had to check out of our hotel at like 11 a.m. My flight wasn't until like 5 p.m. But I was like, you know what? I literally don't care. I've done so much waiting this whole week anyway. Like, what's a few more hours? I go to try to check my bag, but the bag tag doesn't print out, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I asked one of the like little employees, I don't know what we would call her. She was just this woman that was walking around the kiosk like helping people. She was like, oh, you're just too early. They don't let you check your bag until like 3 hours before your flight, or I don't know, something like that. Basically, I was too early to check a bag. And just to make sure, to double check, before I went to go sit down, I asked this lady, by the way, I lost my ID on my way here. Will I still be able to get through security? And she was like, oh yeah, like they might ask you for like some other stuff, or like I already said that the woman on the phone said, same thing, like they might ask you some questions, pat you down, do some like verification, whatever, but you will eventually be let through. And I was like, okay, that's what I thought, cool. I go sit down for like an hour and a half, and I go back, I check my bag, and as I've talked about before in another video from like this last summer, I use a wheelchair every time that I go to the airport because I have breathing problems and back problems, and it's extremely difficult. Like, it's already hard for me to walk long distances, but like it's 10,000 times harder when I'm carrying like a heavy backpack on my back, and especially in the Orlando airport because it's massive. So I go up and I ask for a wheelchair. Same process as always. I fly a lot, y'all, so like this is not something that I rarely do. I do this all the time. I like said I need a wheelchair, said okay, go have a seat. So I did. I went and I sat down. I waited maybe like 5 minutes, pretty normal amount of time to wait, and then this guy with a wheelchair comes over to pick me up. I sit in the wheelchair and he starts to push me. And he pushes me for like 10 seconds before he's asked me,
do you have your ID on you?
And they always ask that so that like you can have it ready before they take you through security. And I was like, no, I lost it. This brother stops the wheelchair and goes,
you lost it?
and I was like, yeah, like I explained the situation, whatever. He said something about, well, how are you gonna get through security? Like they're not gonna let you through. And I was like, I was told by at least 2 other people that I would be let through. And he was like, started getting like a whole ass attitude. And it's like, dude, I'm so sorry that I inconvenienced you by losing my driver's license. It's not like I'm gonna have to go to the DMV and sit there for 3 hours and like go through the process to get a new one or anything. No, I'm so sorry. He leaves and goes to get this lady who, oh, I hate this woman. I don't like either of these people, but like I really don't like her. She like comes through, what? She comes back over with the guy, patronizing as f, first of all. She's like,
you don't have your ID, blah, blah, blah.
And I just remembered that she asked me,
Well, then how did you get your boarding pass?
bitch, I don't know. They didn't ask me for it. Like, I just put in my information to the kiosk and it printed it out. I don't remember, recently at least, ever having to show my ID to get my boarding pass. Like, I have to show my ID with my boarding pass, but like it just prints it out. I just said like they didn't ask me for it. So then she's like,
Well, they're not gonna let you through security probably, blah, blah, blah.
again, I said, I've been told by 2 people, that I could. At this point, I'm like, can you just take me over? Like, I didn't say this, but I'm starting to think like, why don't you, it's not that far. Like, I can see the security line from where we are. I'm like, can't you just push me over there? If they say no, then like, we'll figure it out from there. But I was like, whatever, dude. Then, all of a sudden, the guy who was originally starting to take me can't take me anymore. So like, they have to go find someone else. I sit down where I was sitting before. Y'all, I shit you not. I was waiting there for at least 20 minutes. Thank God that I got there early because I would have been so screwed. I'm starting to get really, I was already irritated, but now I'm starting to get like visibly irritated, and I'm a major pushover, like to people in public. I'm way too nice, even when I shouldn't be. So it takes like a lot for me to like even remotely give an attitude to a stranger. So I'm sitting there. Barbecue sauce in my hand. Sorry. So I'm sitting there. This bitch just goes back and is like sitting at her little front desk. And I'm like, what is happening? So I start like just standing up and like walking over and like giving her eyes. Like, like not directly, because like I have an issue with eye contact, but like making sure like I knew she could see me in her peripherals. I would just stand up and walk away from the wheelchair and just like stand there like this, very irritated, just like I'm exaggerating a little bit, like that's not exactly what my face looked like, but you get the vibe. Eventually, I see her like come and talk to this other guy, and they're like whispering, kind of like gesturing in my direction. Then she comes back over to me and she's like, she had this weird sense of like pride, like
like, yeah.
like that type of vibe, I don't know. But she came out over and she was like,
Yeah, so like they're not gonna let you through security.
basically something to that effect. I don't remember her exact words. Without ID, they're not gonna let you through. And I was like, I was told, I said this 3 times. I was like, I was told by 2 other people that work for Pooh Bited that I would be able to get through. And she was like, this is the line that like stuck in my brain and fuels my anger for like most of this story.
Yeah, well, my manager said that that's not gonna happen.
Your manager? You mean the like front desk baggage wheelchair pushing people? Okay, the people that have nothing to do with actually getting me through security and to my plane? Okay. This is the part of the story where I wish I would have been way more aggressive and meaner, but like also, you know what? I'm the bigger person. So I was just like, all right, well, I'm just gonna walk then. And I just turned my ass around and walked to security. Thankfully, security was right there. Like, it wasn't very far away. And when I said that, and when I started walking away, she did nothing about it. God forbid I was someone that literally couldn't walk. Hello? I don't know if they were just doubting that like I needed one or something. I don't know. So I turned around, I walked to security, and there was another woman standing by, you know, where the lines start to form, and she's like directing people which line that they need to get in, whatever. So like I go up to her, I explain the situation that I just explained to you, but I also add in the fact that the wheelchair people are telling me that I can't get through and they're refusing to bring me over here. You wanna guess what she said? You wanna guess what the nice security lady said? The same thing that the 2 other Pooh-Bited employees told me. I would be able to get through, it just might be a little bit of a process. That's what I thought. So I go to the little desk, and I tell the woman at the desk the situation. She tells me there's like 2 people ahead of me, so I have to wait my turn before I can do the process. And I've never done this before. I had no idea how long I was gonna wait, and I asked her, and she was like, I can't give you a time, I'm sorry, like it varies, you know, which stressed me out even more, but it's fine. So bitch, I sat on this bench, and at this point, I just felt so done. Like, I'd been done, but like this, it really hit me in this moment. I'd been wanting to go home for like days at this point, but like I'd never wanted to go home so badly than I did in this moment. I sat on this fucking bench. I like couldn't hold it in. I just started crying.
Sat down and cried today.
It was just all of the shit that had been building up in my brain for like a month was just coming out. And I like couldn't stop. Like I wasn't like, ugh, like I wasn't like wailing, but like the tears were flowing, bitch. But it wasn't even that much longer. I think I was only waiting there maybe like 10 minutes. It really wasn't that bad. An angel of a man comes walking over. And he has a very like serious demeanor about him. Like I couldn't tell that he was an angel of a man quite yet. But he comes over and he's like, why are you crying? And I was like, I couldn't even like explain it. I hate talking when I'm crying, like, cause I sound like, you know what I mean. It's just ugly. And because he's not a therapist, he didn't like try to ask any other questions. He just kind of started getting down to business. I like collect myself. I stop the tears. He sits down with a clipboard and he like asks me like my old address, family's names, my birth date, like all that stuff. And I answer the questions. And y'all, when I saw him check that little yes box on the paper, I was like, oh, I felt so much relief in that moment, but not all the way, because I still had to get to my gate. That's when I ask this man, I say, okay, cool, well, can I get a wheelchair from here? And he kind of goes like, what? I mean, no, why? And like, low-key, he sounded kind of annoyed with me at first, like as if I was just trying to like get through security faster. I don't think he actually thought that, but like, That's what his Uma. Anyway, so then I explained the entire situation that I just explained to you to him, and his reaction like made my entire day, because the first words out of his mouth were just, oh, that's messed up. He was shook by what these people said to me, and he spilt all the fucking tea. I'm sorry to like use that lingo because it's getting so annoying at this point. Like, I'm aware of it, but I still can't stop. He spilt all the damn tea, and he was like, they probably didn't want to take you because they knew that if they brought you over here, it would be a process, and they didn't want to wait for you, and or they knew that they wouldn't get a tip. So these fucking poop-heighted wheelchair front desk people cared more about their time and getting their tips than helping a disabled, handicapped person. Hello, I literally remember I was just like, cool. Like, I was kind of happy about it in a way, because then it was confirmed that I wasn't insane and that I like wasn't just like being ridiculous. He says, you need a wheelchair, and I'm like, yeah, like my gate is like super far away. He told me to go back over there with the boarding pass that he had now like signed that I was verified, and to tell him again that I need a wheelchair, but then to bring me back to him and he would escort me through security. So this part was pretty satisfying. I went back to the wheelchair people, except it was a different girl at the front desk, but she was also there earlier when I initially tried to get the wheelchair. And by this point, it was like an hour later probably, and she was like, you're still waiting? And I was like, yeah. I could have been and probably should have been a lot meaner and more aggressive, but like what I said in this moment is more than I would have ever said on a regular day. I was like, yeah, so they didn't want to take me over there because they assumed that I wouldn't get through without ID. So I went over myself, and I got verified, and the security guard told me that they probably just didn't want to take me over because they weren't gonna get a tip. And this girl, she was nice about it. She was really nice about it, but she started acting like a child that just got in trouble. Like, she just got like all nervous and was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go over, I'm gonna take this to them, and we'll get someone to take you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, you will, dude. Like, oh, I was so done. I go over to the spot where they have you wait for a wheelchair again, and this time I see the queen. I see the damn queen from the beginning.
My manager said that's not gonna happen.
Was right over there, and I know she saw me. She saw me in the distance. If I wasn't so non-confrontational, I like would have gone over there and been like, hi bitch, hi bitch, hi bitch, hi bitch. But I didn't do that because at this point was done. Also anxiety, like I'm just not good at that kind of stuff. But I made sure that she did see me in the distance, and I gave her a little sarcastic smile. So that was pretty fun. In the end, yet another guy ended up taking me, and I only had to wait like a couple minutes this time. Took me to meet with, his name was Irwin, I believe was his name. I am so sorry if that's wrong, because that's the angel of a security guard that helped me get through this. I am gonna say his name because he deserves a raise or something, like king. But by the time we got through security, like I looked behind me and he was gone, and I was so upset because I wanted to like thank him. So if by some miracle he ends up coming across this video, thank you so much. You made my day 100,000 times better, even though it still sucked. Like even the rest of the day still sucked because traveling just sucks. He told me, the security guy told me to report it, and I still haven't done that. I've just never done anything like that before, so like it makes me nervous for some reason. I don't know, but I'm making a video. So, don't let this shit happen to you. I don't know how else I would have gotten around it, though, if I didn't just walk to security, because they literally wouldn't take me in the wheelchair. Like, it was unreal. To make the story even more hilarious, a day or two after I got home, I went to the DMV and, you know, like, signed up for a new driver's license. Guess what the f*** comes in the mail 2 days ago? My driver's license that I lost. I thought I lost it in San Francisco. Someone in Florida found my ID and just mailed it to me, which was incredible. Huge thank you to that person. They wrote a return address on the envelope, but like I cannot read their name. The handwriting is a little bit tricky, like I can't read it. It's just like hilarious and kind of annoying because I already went through the whole process to get a new one sent to me. And like if I just waited like a couple more days, I would have gotten my old one in the mail. But yeah, now I'm back. Every time I make a video where I'm like, I feel so good, I feel so much better, I'm ready to kill it. But then like the literal next day, I'm like, all over again. So I don't want to say that I'm like 100% better because I'm not, but I'm definitely feeling better. The inspiration is back, I will say that for sure. I'm still a little bit stressed out because there's like a million things in life right now that I'm like trying to accomplish. For example, my biggest thing is I'm trying to move out. It's a very ambitious thing of me to be even saying right now because do not have the money for it yet. It's my biggest goal right now that I'm really working towards, like really hard, because like as time passes, I'm running out of space here. It's just not efficient for filming. It's really noisy here. Thank you guys for listening to my rambling, and I'm very excited to be back. I feel like I've said this so many times in the past like 3 months. But what I mean this time is I'm excited to be back in Santa Cruz, like, again. I'm gonna stop talking because the over-explaining is just not gonna stop. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe because I will be posting videos every single Saturday. Thank you guys so much for your patience and your understanding. I appreciate it more than you will ever know. And I will see you all in my next video. Love you, bye.